Behind me, that's what he is. Back up. The blue man at the statue.
Big shot is there! Big shot is there!
I'm gonna throw up. I'm lightheaded.
Kenny coming through with what might be the play of the game. JR holding a different angle. You just witnessed one of the best hardpoint maps in Call of Duty competitive history. Let's go!
Turn up the lights in here, baby. Extra bright.
I look so far away on the camera.
Turn out the lights in here, baby. Want you to see everything. Want you to see none of the lights.
There you go. Now I'm more shiny. I don't have like gray lips anymore.
Now you look dude. I look so white, and I'm not this. Am I this white, Matt?
No, camera. I'm Latino, dude. I'm brown. I mean, look at this. Now I'm tan.
Let me turn this screen off, or darken it somehow.
That definitely made you whiter.
Now I'm not, because I turned off, like, the PlayStation screen was fucking like in my face.
Now you're beige.
Now I'm not super cocky. No, I'm fucking so white. Oh my god.
That's the way it is, dude.
You look sun-kissed and beautiful, man. I'm coming to BC. Fuck this.
Yeah, man. BC's a good time. Went to the gym this morning.
Is it cold as shit?
It's cold in a different way. It's definitely not like minus 20 cold. But like
It's cold as shit here.
If you stay outside and like get wet, it's kind of hard to get dry. That's the reason why people get cold. And so you dirty.
Dude, what do you mean, man?
What do you mean?
I didn't say anything.
Mr. Accusations on the last stream.
Dude, you said
You started it.
if you stay outside and get wet.
Yeah.
Where do you want my mind to go, man?
Think about rain like a good Christian boy.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But yeah, so I guess welcome to episode 18, guys. This is
Episode 18.
This is going to be how the podcast is going to look for probably the next 6 months.
6 whole fucking months without actually physically being able to stroke your beard.
I mean, first off, I never let you stroke my beard, so don't get yourself twisted.
Well, Matt, you also didn't realize that you bought physical dicks after high school. So, you know, we take that with a grain of salt.
But only after high school.
Yeah.
After high school, I stopped it because I just had enough.
Yeah, with the physical dicks.
Dude, that took me so long to edit that video just because I was laughing all the time. And like I was even like, Mom, you got to listen to this because this she didn't hear your end, and she's like, oh my God, this is amazing. If you don't know what we're talking about, please check out our Instagram or our Twitter.
Oh my God.
We put up
the best thing you've ever said.
Yeah, we put up a clip of me flubbing real bad. But in such a great way.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's
what you do best.
That was probably, I don't know. Would you say that was my best flub of 2019? Or are we still sticking with the Remembers? Remember is just so consistent, right? I
was going to say Remember's a reoccurring,
yeah,
member of your whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Speech impediment.
But
that one was so new and random and specific and couldn't be more bad for you. It was funny as shit for me.
Yeah, well,
I didn't say it.
I'm not becoming prime minister anytime soon here, so I think we're fine there. But actually, it's funny because you brought it up on my last stream where when you resubscribed, you're like, Matt, you've got this, you've got your notification spelled wrong. Then I'm like, well, maybe that's the bit that I make. But I thought just this morning that the better bit would be if a person resubscribes. Would it be like so?
I remember.
Yeah, so and so remembered to resubscribe.
Yeah.
So I think I'll change that to remember so that it's part, because that's part of me now. That's never going away. I mean,
dude, you should literally put it on your bio on every single page of your social medias. # always remember.
Always remember. Yeah.
Always remember. Because I mean, dude. Obviously, we talked about it. Your sister coming in clutch. But
yeah, I have a goddamn keychain with it spelled wrong. So
it's too good, and nobody else has a slogan
No.
That's wrong. Always remember, could be yours and yours alone.
That is my niche. That is my niche. But
Nothing is your niche.
my niche is my, well, I wouldn't say speech impediment because some people actually have a speech impediment. I would say it's it's my decay of brain cells, probably.
Okay. Interesting.
Oh boy.
He's in trouble.
Somebody didn't turn off their phone. Actually, that's okay. I'm in a public house, people. Things happen. People live with me. Their phones ring. It's business. They have to answer. Okay.
At least it's very easy to see where you need to cut.
Yeah. I just go like...
Well, and your dad's there.
Yeah. So. All right. You want to talk about... New Year.
2020.
New Year.
Matt's in a different place. I am here, set up in this area where it looks like there's a hallway, but it's not.
It does look like a hallway, though.
It's pretty big. I'm thinking of getting like building myself like a wall here. Somewhere.
Dude, you put like you do one of those like sliding walls, and then you put like a green screen, and your background could be.
I don't like the green screen look, dude.
Yeah, and like green screen, I tried it at home, and like I had like the green fabric, and I put it up, and like for me, it worked until I really wanted to like get the refined edge, and then it just ended up looking too pixelated, and just like
I'd rather just have the square. It's way easier.
Yeah, I kind of like the fancy squares around people's cameras with the fancy borders and all that, and you can even make them.
Yeah,
themed.
And what I could do, dude, is if I made like a portable wall, like a wall on wheels that I roll behind me when I'm streaming, because the laundry room's also down here, so I'm in mother's basement.
Yes,
like a true nerd. So if I'm doing shit, she can still walk by without interrupting me.
Yeah.
So if I built something here, ish, I could put whatever I want on that wall and have like a dope background for my camera.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, and probably your mom would like that too, so that she's not always like in camera and stuff.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, so like you said, it's been a new year, and we seem to be playing not new games though. You and I have been playing a lot of...
Dude, I'm waiting till May for my new one.
You're waiting for Last of Us too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the next one that is like high priority.
I'm not playing
here for.
I shouldn't say much because I'm not playing anything new. I mean, I'm playing Witcher 3 right now, so...
Well... Good.
No, it's a great game. And
yeah, exactly.
And like you heard me yesterday. I played Gwent the whole time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it happens. It's your first time through.
Yeah.
I fully expect you to fuck up a lot of shit. And then be like, maybe I should play it again and try to do better.
Yeah, well, it was the quest to like challenge all the Gwent players in Velen. There was like 4 or 5 of them.
When the unique cards or whatever.
Yeah, and like a lot of them were Nilfgaard, not Nilfgaardian. They were Northern Realms cards. So like I had to challenge them so I can get good cards. But yeah, had fun with that. And then you and I, in terms of multiplayer, have kind of given Modern Warfare a break and been playing some Apex. So what's it like kind of hopping back after not playing for, what do you want to say, like 4 or 5 months maybe?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was uninstalled on my PlayStation, so.
Yeah, I ended up having it uninstalled as well just because I have limited space, which I agree with you guys that you should get a box. But anyways, go on.
I mean, not to sound fucking cocky, dude, but I'm the best that ever fucking did it.
Oh, really?
So it's not too bad because I can swap back and forth, you know. There's a little adjustment period, but, you know, give me another day or two on Apex, dude, and I'm going to be like, nice TTV, by the way, and shit on him.
Yeah. And we've said this before, but I haven't said it on the podcast yet. When it comes to the BRs, I feel like Apex was an easy one for us to transition to. Like, you and I tried to play Fortnite before or after multiple seasons had passed by, and like trying to compete with these kids who now know how to like
Fucking crank
at
90s.
the time cranking 90s was what people were learning to do. So if you didn't know how to crank 90s, you were screwed. So
Yep.
you and I and a whole bunch of other of us tried to get back into Fortnite, ended up being way too difficult, so we just give it up. But yeah, us playing Apex, like the first match we lost, but like I felt like we lost due to like strategic reasons, not because we couldn't shoot.
I felt like we lost because I couldn't shoot, dude.
Yes, but then I showed you how to change your POV, and I think that helped you a bit.
The field of view thing definitely.
Or sorry, field of view, yeah, because definitely Apex.
It's like-
it's weird. Apex's field of view settings on console, because I played it also on PC, and the PC actually already starts at 90, versus console brought you to like 50 or
70.
You were 70,
like,
and like it felt too small, right?
well, no, the problem is like Apex is fast. Like even though it's like it's on the ground, it's not like you're not doing any like flying and shit like other games. It's on the ground, but it is like a fast-paced game. Like you're whipping your fists out to sprint fast as shit. And the problem is I'd be trying to play fast because that's what I know how to do better than fucking sit there. And I'd be coming into a fight and like as I'm running in fast, dude, everything is just so close. Like your gun is so close to the screen. Like the crosshairs feel like they're like in my eyes. I'm like, what the? I'm like, this is fucking with my head, dude. And I missed every single shot, dude, that we'd lost bad.
Yeah,
Because I could not hit people at all.
yeah. I think I'd say our first 3 to 5 matches of Apex, it was like a combination of not being familiar with the map, getting pinched where, yeah, not being familiar with the maps. We were getting pinched in areas that we didn't know about. There was a couple new guns. Personally, it kind of seemed like the best guns were still the best guns. Like 301 is still a good mid all-around weapon. G7 is a good long-range weapon. If you're not comfortable shooting the longbow. And then you have a bias towards the shotguns. I kind of like the EVA 8, but
You're fucking insane.
I like it because what I'll do is I'll slide to an enemy and just shoot my EVA 8, and like I get 2 or 3 hits in them.
You're fucking insane.
I don't know. It works for my
You're fucking
strategy.
insane. No, you're fucking insane, and that's it.
I'll agree.
We don't need to talk about it.
I'll agree.
Fucking insane.
Peacekeeper
By far the best.
Peacekeeper is great if you know how to time your shots. Like if you can,
It's just best.
yeah.
Dude, meaning hit him, he's dead.
Charlie, you have to stop fighting me, dude. Sit there, okay? But yeah, and then I think the only other reason why we would have died is just because getting used to the aiming and strategy.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to strategize when there's so many variables that you don't know. If that makes sense. Like we didn't know maps, we didn't know where circles usually go if it's like kind of going towards one area. Like I know they say it's random, but if it goes to a certain area, if you play a ton of BRs, you know that there's a good chance it'll be around, or you know which building or like which area you need to take. So we don't know any of that shit. We didn't know how to shoot. So I personally wasn't trying to strategize that hard to win because I was kind of like, we should need to get reps in.
See, I feel like yesterday, our first win, we ended up doing a strategy, but it was a very generic strategy of just like staying on a hill. So we survived enough to get to like the to like one of the last circles, and 3 squads left, and yeah, we ended up at the epicenter. I think it was called Epicenter. That big ice.
Was that our first win?
Our first one yesterday, yeah.
Okay.
Our first
I don't
one,
fucking remember, dude.
Our first one was at the Epicenter. And yeah, we just basically did the old strategy of just staying on the hill and then let the other 2 fight each other off. And then I think one of us got spotted, so we ended up getting in a in a third party scenario, I would say late for them, but early for us. It's like they were fighting enough, and then just before their match ended, they spotted us, ended up getting involved in a third party, and just I think we won with just having more HP than them, because I killed someone pretty fast once either it was myself or Dave that got spotted. But yeah, I think a lot of times it was just us. If we died, it was like us being, I don't want to say too aggressive, but we just get spotted. Like we were just like running around and got exposed, and then someone saw us, or we shot at a team way too early. And I think that's kind of like
That's Trent 101, dude.
Yeah,
I shoot at fucking everybody.
I think it's just that. And for me, I feel like that was our strategy in Blackout. Was like, because we all had like long range weapons, we would just poke and jab at people far away, and then once they get closer, we pull out a sub. But like in Apex, I feel like a person far away is almost better just to track them, you know, because like they've got shields on, and like shields in Apex are definitely more valuable than shields in Blackout. Like you and I made jokes about the level
The shield
1
actually fucking does something in Apex. That's the difference.
Yeah, you and I have made jokes about armor in fucking Blackout, where the level 1 is a cashmere sweater. It's not even
it's literally a sweater.
Yeah, so and then actually, yeah, it's interesting because the armor in Blackout, it never protected your head until you got the level 3, right?
Yep. Level 3 was the only thing that had head protection.
Yeah, so then in Apex, technically, if you find it, you can have like high tier armor for your head. It's still separate to your body armor, but you can still get like purple head armor and survive a sniper shot.
Potentially.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of what curbs the strategy adjustment in Apex, where if you notice a guy far away, just kind of keep tabs on him, and if he pushes you, then yeah, have your whole team go up and challenge him. But I think that's what I noticed yesterday and the day before, was like when we were dying, it was challenging people that were too high on us or too far away, and by the time we wanted to sprint to get at them, like for me personally, whenever we were in that scenario, by the time I actually reached them, I was like a quarter health. Because they'd just be picking me off, and we'd be stuck on a road or stuck going up a hill, and we get in trouble.
Yeah.
But so what's your favorite place to land?
Oh, dude, home is that Skyhook place.
Yeah,
that
right?
city. That is my home. I live there.
I like
Log
that
apartment.
I like that, and I think the funniest one where you ended up showing me was the Mirage ship.
Oh yeah, the fucking party bus thing.
Yeah, the party bus, and like you can turn on the celebration things, and it shows a bunch of Mirages dancing and balls dropping and prizes everywhere. Really funny. Yeah, I like that, and I think the good drop is like your skits. What you're saying? It's called Skyville.
Skyhook.
Skyhook. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a really good spot. And then I don't know, that big leaf.
The tree.
The tree.
Very original naming.
Yeah.
It's fucking called Tree.
It's called Tree. I don't know.
It's like Call of Duty map call out shit. He's on Tree.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. Maybe when you're the biggest tree, you just get to be called Tree. Like maybe you become the tree.
I mean, I'm not going to dispute that.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Why are you always like smelling my hat? Does this stink? By the way, Charlie's on my lap here, and every time, oh, maybe it's because I'm talking in his ear.
That would do it. He thinks you're talking to him.
Yeah.
What a cutie.
He's a silly bee. He wants attention because I went to the gym today, so I left him. Got upset. At least this time he didn't bust out. Yeah.
That's good.
Yesterday, Mr. Prison Break over here got out and left a mess all over the house. But this time we made some adjustments. Basically, all I had to do is I just had to take the top of his kennel off, because what he did is he hopped on it Super Mario style, Just hopped in the kennel and then just jumped over the fence.
What a savage.
I know.
I've trained him well.
Yeah, man, he knows how to bust out of jail, dude. Now I've taken the roof off, so he's got no ledge. He's screwed.
Yeah. But we've been playing Apex because COD sucks.
You say COD sucks, but like
I'm lying. But
we're Trench is trying to make clickbait titles.
Yeah.
Call of Duty sucks.
It's in such a weird place, man.
And
it's a good game.
Yeah.
It's fun. But I just think that like shit's getting so serious now that like we need better products if like I think I've said this multiple times. It's $100 million league. How the fuck the game isn't playable at a competitive level is insane.
I agree with you there. There's no public way to compete in a ranked scenario. And then I think part of it too is like you can't keep releasing a new version of a product and have it be worse than the previous product. Like right now, Black Ops 4 is still the superior product.
It is an overall better game. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean,
unfortunately, it's like except for visually, Modern Warfare looks better just because of the updated graphics and stuff that they've got to work with. But I mean, if you line them up side by side and say which one would you rather play more, didn't tell you the title or the time of release, everybody and their mothers should be picking Black Ops 4 if they have a brain.
Yeah, and even in this scenario too, you can't say, well, Black Ops 4 has been out for a year already, so it has all this stuff. The stuff that I'm talking about came with the game in the beginning. You could play Battle Royale, you could play zombies, you could play multiplayer, you could play all these different options. So you can't release something like that and then have your next version of Modern Warfare be just multiplayer again. Like, come on, man. Come on.
Multiplayer. Some special ops shit.
Like, where's
special ops shit that's not beatable?
Yeah, like where's the guy in the boardroom that goes, we're releasing like a third of what we fucking released last year? Like, where is that guy? Like, sure, it's Modern Warfare. You obviously assume people are gonna buy it because people like the first Modern Warfare, and so, but it's so stupid. If they, by you meaning the developer, if you honestly thought that like, oh, that's all we got to put in the game and it's gonna sell. Yes, sure, people will buy it, people will play it, people have been playing it, but I feel like now it is dying off. Like, I checked Twitch, it's not in the top 5 anymore. Now it's in 13.
Well, yeah, the thing is, like, people are always going to play the new COD because it's the new COD.
Yeah, and like
they could literally release a fucking pack of turtles, dude, and people will play it.
And I'll be honest, sorry, I won't be honest. I'll be real. Why they've been as in the media as they have been is streamers. People like Marcel and Courage and Tim and them playing the game 100%. Still beyond its like original die point of like 3 to 4 weeks. That's the only reason it stayed alive as long as it has.
100%.
So I think it's foolish for the developer to rely on that because streamers are eventually going to get bored just as much as any other player. So they're gonna go back. They're gonna go back and play something else, or they're gonna go play something new, man.
Well, they're at a point where like streaming is what it is, and now games have to be mindful that they kind of need to be content friendly. So they need to have things in the game that are gonna help content and not just be a multiplayer game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to keep providing content for the streamers. If you're just gonna be like, here's our pie, eat as much of it as you can, and then once it's done, well, see you later. You got to keep feeding them. You got to keep feeding them more. Otherwise, they're not going to use your source for content anymore.
100%.
Like Marcel, honestly, I think Marcel and Wildcat really tried to like wring out as much content as they could, and they did a fantastic job. But like
Marcel's videos are fucking hilarious.
They're awesome. They're awesome. And like I'll even watch Wildcat's video. It's the same stuff, but watching his perspective just makes it interesting to watch too. So But yeah, they got to keep adding stuff, and like I don't know if the whole BR leak was real or not, but if it wasn't, they should start getting on that, man, because I mean, fuck, like you and Brandon have been playing Blackout just because you're like, I don't want to play Modern Warfare anymore. Like it's getting
Well, I got to a point where, like, we talked about it previously about the updates happening so frequently. And now, with the release of Season 1 and, like, their first DLC content drop, whatever you want to call it, their first drop obviously took a lot of manpower and stuff to get out, and those, like, operator packs or whatever, they take work and time. I'm not saying that they don't. But the amount of, like, tweaking and updates that they made early was insane.
Mhm.
And I remember telling you, I'm like, they can't, like, this is not sustainable. They can't do it. And now we're at a point where we haven't had a gameplay update in a while. And where they have left this game right now is, like, in my opinion, the worst spot it's been all year. Or, well, so far. It's only been a few months, but. And it sucks because, like, MP5 is better than all the ARs because people cried about the M4 being OP, dude. The MP5 is fucking broken. Headshots broken. And the biggest thing going around in like the pro scene right now is this thing called the slide cancel, which is basically like a button combination you do, which, like, your guy slides for like a millisecond and then your gun's up and you're shooting again. So, like, it upsets the timing because it's like a level change mixed in with like a slight slide boost mechanic, but then you're shooting again right away.
So
the pros
are pros using that, or sorry, are people using that to like reload their weapon?
No, it's like just to get an advantage in a gunfight because it level changes you. So you're like at head level and then you slide and you go just under crouch level, right?
Yes.
But then you're instantly back up holding your gun within you're back up.
Well, so I see. So when two players engage each other, one starts sliding. So if this person sees him, starts shooting, he'll miss him, and then he slides, hops up, and then shoots the other guy who was shooting at him.
It can fuck with you in a multiple array of ways. The level change fucks with you because now his hitbox is lower, and then he comes back up and he's shooting. It fucks up the fact that you are not anticipating that kind of movement to be in the game or possible.
Yeah.
So, like, normal sliding now is just, it's not a thing. Like, people don't just slide. But, you know, when you have a game that is an esport, your high-level players, your pros, your streamers or whatever, like, anybody that's playing the game at a high level is going to figure that shit out and abuse it. So right now, there's certain pros that are crying that fucking people are exposing this part of the game. Dude, that's what you do, man. Stop fucking using the M4, dude. You're exposing the game. The fact that those two guns, the MP4 or the M4 and the MP5, stop using those. You're exposing the game to the fact that those are the best.
So sorry, I misunderstood. So pros are complaining that people in pubs are using this thing because
no, pros don't play pubs. They don't complain about shit in pubs. The only thing they complain is Sensor crying about red dots. That's the only thing that they say about fucking pubs.
Okay.
But when they're playing, like, their scrims, there's pros that are doing this abusive slide mechanic, and other pros are frustrated with it.
Frustrated because they're showing it off, so that there's the concern that they're gonna take it out.
Frustrated that it's in the game.
Okay, so that makes sense.
It shouldn't be possible. Like, if this is anything remotely to what real life or like what the physical body could do, kind of thing,
yeah,
it's not fucking possible.
Okay.
They go from dead slide to standing in a millisecond.
Yeah, no, that's yeah, that you can't have that. You gotta change that.
I don't care, because in my opinion, dude, if something is in the game and you're playing the game, like, and it's an advantage, and your job is to play the game at the highest level, you should know how to do that shit.
Yeah.
Bottom line. That's it.
Yeah, it's such a fine line. And back to your point, is like, at some point, you have to stop constantly updating too, because then people can't get a rhythm of the game.
Yeah. 100%.
So if you go and try to adjust, you could go and try to adjust that problem. What will end up happening is that people might end up getting in slide locks where they go and slide and they're locked in that position for 3 seconds. Well, that could get you killed. If you slide and you fuck up, you want to get out of there. You want to be able to get out of there.
That'll remove sliding in competitive. Nobody would do it. They would switch it to jumping.
Yeah.
Instead of like slide challenging a door, dude, most of the people are gonna like jump challenge it instead.
I mean, is there the capacity to just maybe because pubs is mostly done in private matches, correct?
Scrims.
Scrims. But the actual in-game function is private match, correct? Like
Yes.
you would set up.
No, you said pubs happens in private match. Pubs happens in public.
Sorry, what I meant is
scrims are private matches.
Pro matches pro matches are done where someone hosts a private match, and then they'll compete in a scrim, and then whoever wins, whoever loses, loses.
Yep.
Could you then maybe at the pro level have the option to adjust the entire game's settings in the private match so that you can, in a scrim, turn off, disable sliding, disable mounting, and like instead of it being GA'd, straight up have that option to remove it from the settings, so that the pros could play a balanced game, and then people playing public matches will just be in the wilds, dude.
I think they can put that in. It's not a thing right now where you can like disable slides. Like, I mean, if the CDL decided to release a thing saying that they're banning sliding from the league, I'm sure there's probably some in-game mechanic that they can add in that would say like disable slide on, and you would just return to drop shotting. But I mean, private matches already have their issue. Like, they have issues. Like, there's so many issues that happen that just affect the professional scene kind of thing, and has nothing to do with the public side or anything. And the fact that there's some shit like that in the game at all, when you have $100 million league dedicated to this game, funded by the orgs and put on by Activision Blizzard themselves, is pretty fucking insane.
Yeah, man, because like, I don't know, what do you think the solution would be? Like, at what point do you stop editing and just say, this is the game?
I think I was talking about this with a mutual friend of ours, but I think one of their biggest mistakes was listening to criticism early and updating early. It's a new Call of Duty, man. Let us play it for the first 2 weeks and don't say a fucking word. And then listen to what the masses are saying. The footsteps needed to change. Yeah. Absolutely no fucking question. They were simply too loud.
Well, that wasn't footsteps, dude. That was strip stomping.
Yeah, exactly. Dead silence should be silent. Like, it should be 100% definite, like zero sound, if you're going to have a dead silence mechanic in the game. And so then, but like, go fucking slow. Because we're at a point now where, like, I remember using the M4, man. It was like a 2-bullet kill. And I was like, this thing is fucked. Now it's like 6. I'm like, dude, who did you give the fucking the green light to change this game this much?
Yeah.
Because they went from trying to make an accurate, like, they wanted this game to be real and feel real.
Mm-hmm.
Now they turned it completely upside down on its head, dude, and the fucking kill time is like almost the same as Black Ops 4.
Yeah.
Like, the only reason the kill time isn't that long is if you hit headshots, because headshots will kill you in like a bullet.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, and then they
haven't updated that.
That's a very good point. Maybe developers have to like make a decision on what kind of changes are they willing to do based on feedback. Like, if your only feedback is, oh, this gun's too powerful, I don't like it, it's be like, well, start using it. Like everybody knew that the M16 and the first Modern Warfare was very powerful. You didn't even have
Absolutely.
to. You didn't even have to grind out to get to AK or whatever. That was a perfectly reasonable gun to use.
Mm-hmm.
So
It was the best gun to use ever.
It was the best gun to use, and yeah. So maybe just it has to be whatever the fan base is complaining about. Maybe there needs to be like a quick audit of like, hey, is this worth breaking the game? Is this worth breaking the game? Because at some point, the best gun has to be declared the best gun. You can't just be switching the best gun every fucking 2 weeks.
That's what happens.
Because that's what's going on right now. It's like it was the M4, and then people started using subs, and then people stopped using subs, and then people are now using only the MP5.
I mean, the M4 is still very good. It's the best AR still, even after the nerfs, which I'm fine with it being slightly nerfed, but the fact that the MP5 hasn't been touched at all yet is insane. So we're at a point now where the best gun in the game currently is a sub, and pros are scrimming with these guns, and they're going to completely change.
Also, the best gun,
how they play the game.
The best gun in the game is a sub, where the game is designed to be done is designed to be played slow.
Which I have no problem with the sub being the best gun in the game, but I have a problem with what's going to happen is this MP5 is going to get fucking nerfed. I can almost guarantee you that.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't. I have no I wouldn't have a problem if the devs literally said fuck off, compete. I'd have no problem. I'd be like, cool. If you're not going to make changes to this game, I will figure out what is the best, use it, and abuse it.
Yeah, because it is. Yeah, people need to.
We need consistency.
People need consistency, and people need to also. What I was trying to say is, people need to not be bitching all the time. Well, you can't stop people from bitching, but like people need to realize that if a person says I'm not going to update it anymore, instead of whining, it's okay. Well, if this is how they're going to keep the game, now you need to figure out what the best loadout is, and just start using that.
Well, that's what I mean, because even last year, you had teams showing up in between one event and then that CWL finals event where E United got their first win, where they updated the game and the SOG became the best gun in the game.
Yeah, you were saying that. You were saying that before. Like, I think you mentioned that in the first podcast. Was like, yeah, literally, like, was it like a couple days or a week before?
It was either there was like a week in between these events, or like 2 weeks between these events, and like literally halfway through, after that one tournament wrapped, where the teams competed with the latest update, they updated the game in between, and all of a sudden the SOG was like this fucking brand new gun.
Yeah,
and they had a tournament like a week later.
Yeah, like imagine,
dude.
Like, it's weird because like you don't see that in other sports or even in other esports for that matter.
No,
like in Overwatch, people use certain characters, and it's not like a week later, oh, that character's fucking garbage now. The only time that ever happens is if that ever happens is because they introduce a new character, and then all of a sudden the dynamics of what's best against what changes. It shouldn't be like imagine playing fucking football and then 2 weeks later it's like, oh, we should start using a soccer ball because that travels farther. It's like, what the fuck, man? That's your sport. Don't change that shit. Your assets, don't change it. I realize, yes, at the same time, it's a game, so it has a whole bunch of other variables, and you're using a whole bunch of different tools. But like at some point, dude, you have to be like, okay, this is the best loadout, and this is the best scenario for a team. I almost like that more. If Call of Duty was balanced enough where you could be like, okay, each pro team needs to have a minimum of 2 subs, 2 ARs, and a sniper, and that's the best arrangement, then perfect. Because then you can assign roles where you could be like, this is Alex the sniper, and like people could be like recognized for those positions. You have positions in sports. You have forwards, you have defense, you have a goaltender, you have more positions in football too. Like, for you to keep changing things, people are just going to constantly trying to adjust when there's no settling down and actually making a firm stance and a firm place in the game.
Mm-hmm. I like the idea of like teams having to use the same shit, but I also know, or I'm also a fan of like being like unpredictable. So like, I don't know, man. Like, I think it's cool when you see those like moments where like in sports where like the coach tells the players to do something, the players are like, "Are you fucking insane?" And then the players do it and it works like perfectly, and the coach looks like a genius.
Yeah, but the
Like,
coach,
I would like to see like, or like, I don't want it to not be on the table that one round of an S&D that like all 5 dudes run an MP5 and just fly at one bomb site.
yes,
Like every single one of them.
I'm saying you could. I'm saying you could do that because you could do that in regular sports. What I'm not saying is, hey, for say in football or something, it's like, hey, in this play, instead of using a football, we're gonna use a spear, and we're just gonna run straight across the field, and whoever gets in our way is gonna die. It's
Very
like
dope. I'd watch football.
it's like you can't just be like, I say like the whole notion of liking that like unexpected change. You can get that from people changing their class or people I don't know, but like people changing their class or like people doing a different strategy
Yeah,
on
but the guns
on a map.
are
But
the
I feel
same.
like the possibility of like getting excited over a change just because someone decided to use one gun over another, I think it's worth restricting that because the amount of times that happens, I think is slim. And because I think you can get a more, I think you could get more excitement just from being like, oh, this team decided to go all subs this round versus, oh, instead of Buddy using the MP5, he decided to use an MP7.
Well, yeah, like nobody's gonna fucking care what the gun is, man.
Yeah, so then to that
Like they're
point,
gonna know that one's a sub and he's gonna be aggressive. This guy's an AR, but he has like all the mobility attachments. He's probably gonna be like a support.
yeah,
This guy has the M4, but it's decked out with all like the fucking shit that helps you shoot really far. He's camping.
but like to my point, if it's decided that the M4, if it's established that like the best AR in the game is the M4, the best sub of the game, they're probably gonna nerf MP5, so it's probably gonna end up being MP7. The best sniper is the Ox 50. If it's all this established like that and it's like well known and even the developers acknowledge these are the best of the best, then people don't, then at the pro level it's like, okay, I don't need to worry about 6 months from now they decide to nerf this gun because this is still the best AR. So now I can spend the whole time mastering my craft, learning about how this gun works, learning about how well it kills at certain distances, and just basically learn that gun so well that when you watch them play at a professional level, it's amazing. Instead of them having to constantly adjust every 2 weeks.
Yep. I agree. That's we're talking about making COD a legitimate, basically sport.
It's just so bright that in the camera. I almost open that window, yeah. But yeah, like if you want to make it an established sport, stop changing it every fucking 2 weeks, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Like if
helps
they
a
want
lot,
to take
thanks.
themselves seriously,
That helps a lot, thank you.
yeah, if they're trying to take themselves seriously, like sports aren't changing their fucking rules every,
No,
we
yeah.
can say it again and again, but it just like we're playing Apex because we have $100 million league in Call of Duty that Activision is not taking seriously.
Do you think it's a matter of just because we haven't had a major event yet?
That we haven't had an event?
Like we haven't had a Call of Duty Major League event yet.
Well, we'll see because the first one comes in like 13 days or some shit.
Because I wonder, like, I think maybe the best way for us to, as a community, to get Infinity Ward to kind of like give more credit to the pros is watching. Because I bet you what will happen is that if that first major event doesn't have a big turnout in terms of audience on stream, or it's probably going to be on, it's probably going to rely on the audience that's watching the stream, and then secondary would be watching the videos. If that response isn't that big or what they're not expecting, this fucking league could probably die real quick.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're the head of a company that fucking size and you don't do your homework before you demand teams to pay a $20 million buy-in to your fucking $100-something million league, you should not be running that branch within that giant company.
Yeah, it may, and maybe not. I mean, it's the same company that's running. It's the same company that's running Blizzard, and Blizzard's been making a bit of mistakes on their own. So, yeah, maybe there's unfortunately problems in the major publishers that own Call of Duty and other games, because we're kind of at their mercy. And if they're not willing to pay attention to what the pros are saying and what major competitive fans are suggesting to make the game more interesting, I mean, do you even think, like, how crazy would it be if at this point they've already acknowledged that this is going to be a pro level failure and they're just recreating Black Ops 4, and that's what Black Ops 5 is going to be? Because they acknowledge, because they must know. Actually, I would have to see, like, it probably is now. Like, what I'm trying to say is, in terms of viewership at the professional level, has it ever been bigger than it was in Black Ops 4? Like, was Modern Warfare pretty big times? Like, was Modern Warfare 2, was there a really big, huge pro level viewership on that?
No.
Where do you say would have been the highest?
Probably Black Ops 2 Ghosts.
Oh, okay.
In between that era, I want to say had the highest live number of viewers. Aside from that, like that time, the biggest resurgence we had would have been like, actually, the Jetpack CODs might have been okay for viewership. Like Black Ops 3 and IW might have had a decent amount of eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
But I think overall, in the recent titles, Black Ops 4 has been the one that made the biggest splash.
Okay, so we acknowledge that the Black Ops 4 one has made the biggest impact.
I think so. I'm not 100% sure what, like, if the numbers support that.
Yeah, and like also we have to consider that Twitch has also been growing along this as well. So Black Ops 4, why it became such a big hit, could have also been in direct relation to Twitch also rising up in popularity.
Absolutely.
So if Black Ops 4 was their most successful, if not second most successful viewership retention in terms of live streaming public match or pro level matches, then maybe they're already kind of just like letting people play this version of Modern Warfare, and then they'll release a better version of Black Ops 4 and call it Black Ops 5. Because you and I have already said, like, we're a little bit nervous on how pro matches are gonna go in terms of viewing them, because Black Ops 4 was so exciting to watch. Like, this might be very boring to watch.
I think if this year goes not the way Activision's expecting, and they are looking for some sort of bump up in numbers and stuff, I think they'd be stupid not to dial back the amount of production for COD.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning less developers working on that title because we need some sort of consistency to keep a fan base. And also, then you have to decide if you're going to run with 2 developers, or you're going to cut down to 1 that is now the Call of Duty developer, and restructure a timeline on how long your games are out for. Like, I think, the life cycle right now for developers to work on the next game is 3 years, and it doesn't even seem like that's long enough.
No,
Because a lot of games have been coming out incomplete.
I
So
think
if you give like Treyarch 4 years in between titles, or like, but they're the only ones working on COD, and Activision backs them and gives them fucking the finances they need to grow the team or whatever, and you strip it down to like 1 dev, or publish, or developer
yes,
to make the game.
I agree.
Like,
I agree with that. It has to. They got to make it easier on themselves, and you can't have a pro, you can't have esports on a game that changes every year, dude.
we have an esport on a game that is developed by 3 different independent companies.
Yeah,
So like, there has been like, even in like commentary of certain matches, they have called certain players good at like the specific title
Yeah.
that a developer releases.
exactly.
Like,
It's-
John was notorious for being good at Treyarch games.
Yeah,
And I'm like, how the fuck is that even allowed, man?
yeah, and like we're also in Call of Duty, you have players that are really good in one game and are not so good in the other.
Absolutely.
Like, how does
So,
that? Like Kenny was like the best at World War II,
World War
right?
II. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was on a different fucking planet that
Yeah,
year.
and then the following year, Black Ops 4, Scump best player, or not Scump? What's his name?
Simp. Dashy.
Simp, another S word. Sorry, Simp. Yeah, Simp and Dashy. Really good players in Black Ops 4, if not the best ones.
Mm-hmm.
So like, how does that work? Like,
It's like, part of content is having the fans rooting for a team or people or like individuals. And the problem is, like, you can create a fan base on your personality alone, but you also need to show that you can play the game. So, and like, you're going to skyrocket fan base if you can be like a fucking consistent MVP. Like, Simp went from nobody fucking, like, only hardcore people knowing who the fuck he was, till anybody that watched the last 2 tournaments, the 2 biggest tournaments of the year, they knew who fucking Simp was.
Yep.
Because he was the MVP.
yeah,
And like, when you were like, when the fucking casters were watching him, you were like, this guy is special. And I haven't watched any phase scrims for Modern Warfare, but it's going to be hard to replicate a performance like that in this title.
yeah. We're definitely gonna finish the conversation on this, just because we're almost running out of time here. But like, what do they do, man? Because like, even if you go on Twitch and see who has the highest viewership, it's not the pros. Like, that's the weirdest thing. I feel like this is the only game where like the pro players, like, they have high viewership, but it's like not consistent to what every other game is like.
I think the pros do have the highest viewership when it comes to COD, like strictly COD, but it's only spread out between like 2 or 3 pros. Maybe like Scump, Formal, and fucking somebody else. I don't even know. Scump and Formal are the top 2 by far.
Always Scub Formal and Hitch is not even
He's not even a pro.
a pro right now.
But like,
Just
strictly
entertainer.
like people that are just streaming COD, yeah, like Team Summertime might be in the top 5 for COD content creation.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, they're fantastic. I fucking love those guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have how many pros? Each team has fucking 7, and there's 10 teams or 12 teams. How many?
Yeah.
I think there's 8 or 10 or whatever. Either way, that's a lot of players, and a lot of those guys don't have following on Twitch.
And that's where we're at. And I don't know if that's just them not motivated to do it, or if there's some sort of like licensing where like they're not allowed to.
I think what it is the fact that they're going to stream pro scrims, and those are like not just entertain. Like, unless you fucking love COD, those aren't fun to watch. Because you hear the callouts, dude, there's literally screaming and shit. You're like, what the fuck is going on? I think the reason is that like COD, like at this moment, isn't really content friendly. That's why the followings are so isolated between a couple or like a few channels.
Yeah, I think overall, COD is probably the least friendly when it comes to content creation. I would agree.
Like the reason last year like was so exciting is because like the ability for content was there. You saw Simp getting fucking 3 pieces with a sniper and like at a pro level. People love to see that kind of shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Like no scopes, fucking flashy plays. Like
definitely, Black Ops 4 had it right, where the nice, exciting, fast-paced multiplayer was great to watch, and then you also, from a content creator's level, they gave you the open sandbox that's a battle royale, and you can make a whole bunch of content out of that.
And the specialist usage at the pro level.
Yeah,
that shit's fun to watch because, like, I mean, is it OP? Absolutely. If you have a Tempest and fucking the other guy has an ICR, you're winning because you have a Tempest. But, you know, it is balanced because they have a guy who's running Tempest as well. So it comes down to, like, it's another variable that makes it exciting. Like, you know, like a push is coming because the guy's like saving his specialist for like a certain hard point. You're like, oh shit, he has this fucking slammy thing.
Yeah.
And then, like, you know, the caster's like over embellishing, like, yo, slacked, he's up. Fucking
yeah, no, 100%.
Like, oh shit.
It's like having supers. It's like having that option to slam dunk and show off a little bit, right?
Exactly. And in this game, there's like none of that.
No.
The coolest thing there is assassinations, but I guarantee you they're gonna happen so minimally at a pro level. It's not even fun because they're slow.
Yeah, and like even for me as a small streamer playing Call of Duty, I like it because I play with you guys and it's exciting in that scenario. But I do realize that because Call of Duty doesn't give you as much options to be creative, people are
100%.
watching streams because you're either really good at the game or you got a great personality, which is why the top 2 people, in my opinion, are Scump and Team Summertime.
If you're looking for like the most creative people streaming COD, it is TST.
Yeah, like TST,
they do the content shit.
Yeah, they do the content shit, but I think their content is their personalities.
Yes, but also what they're doing in game.
Yeah,
like they're playing game battles 3v3s, but they're like going for clips all the time.
Yeah,
like the sniper plays, like they're still very good players. All, like every single one of them, they can all shoot. They understand the game like very well. And I'm sure if they wanted to take it serious, 1, 2, or fucking all of them could be like attempting to become professional players, and you wouldn't be like, "There's no fucking way, bro."
Yeah,
like
and like
they're good.
And like for people listening who are probably thinking right now, like, dude, you just talked about like Marcel and Wildcat, dude. Like, you're not gonna bring them up. I'm like, what I just want to say there is like
mostly streamers. Well, they're YouTubes. It's different.
No, that's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is like when it comes to the lack of content availability on Call of Duty, they took the assets from Call of Duty and found what they could, and now I'm not gonna say they ran out because people are still gonna watch their stuff, but there's less out there, and definitely for a small streamer, it's harder to dig into Call of Duty and find some new creative idea to take out of it, because at this point now, the best that I could do is try to get good so I can make great clips of like me getting like a 6 snipe or something like that. Like
that's basically what I do.
And like,
or what I'm trying to do, I guess.
I don't want to insult them because they're very fun. They're very funny. They got great videos, but like the idea of like putting your back against a building and throwing a knife in the sky so it perfectly lands on the bomb, that's not brand new. We've seen videos like that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like but I'm not. At the same time, I'm not watching Marcel's videos for that. I'm watching because the reactions. They scream and they laugh and like they'll go and talk shit in the public chat. So like that's why I'm watching. But like the ideas of like throwing a knife in this guy and killing the guy on bomb, or like doing a random nade, or like shooting an RPG into a building once the guy gets in there, or like the riot shield and throwing knife, like that's not unique. I've definitely seen that in Black Ops before. So
Black Ops.
I think Black Ops 3 had riot shields.
Black Ops 2 had riot shields for sure.
Yeah. But
3 we were flying around, so I don't know if they had riot shields.
Oh, okay.
But that's also like you're comparing Call of Duty based streamers to like just content creators who play a variety of games.
No, what I'm trying to say is the content that Call of Duty provides, they've never changed it. Like the humiliation.
Oh no, yeah, I understand what you're saying.
When you watch Call of Duty videos, it's always like humiliations. I like the assassinations. That's a great idea. Keep bringing those in.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the most new thing.
That is the best thing they've added. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But
like the idea of like cross map throwing knife or a cross map nade, like people have been making those videos for every version of Call of Duty, man. Like
but then it's also up to the creator to get creative with the stuff in game. Well, like the game can't make the game creative. That's what creativity is, right?
Yeah, well, how many times are you going to make a peanut butter sandwich before you realize I can't make it any other way?
Well, I mean, you can spin around in a circle and make a peanut butter sandwich.
Yeah, but like if you've been making a peanut butter sandwich for the past 10 years, if not more, at some point you run out, man, because the person, because if you keep giving the same bread and the same peanut butter and no new utensils to make a sandwich, you're gonna eventually run out of ways to make that sandwich. So my point is
sandwich, but you're not going to run out of ways to make a specific sandwich and react to you making a specific sandwich.
So what's your point there in terms of Call of Duty?
Because
what I'm trying to say is the developers of Call of Duty, you said it before, need to provide more content and more assets to the game so that people can keep making content for your game, so that people keep paying attention to your game.
Yes. I don't think it's their responsibility to add certain things that are going to be content friendly, because that's what they do when they add the OP guns. I don't want that shit. But I think like the specialist being in game takes a little bit of like the game can be very stagnant and one team could have control and you're fucked, especially in like this new COD. Like if one team has control, we've seen it on shipment, dude. Even pros can't spawn in.
Oh my god, that's a nightmare.
Shit for 20 fucking minutes. Like,
that's a nightmare.
But like, you know, if your specialist was charging, even though you're dying all the, there could be one time you fucking whip out the fucking flamethrower and spin around in a circle and kill everybody there.
Yeah,
that opportunity is there because it adds like almost a randomness. And randomness is content.
Yeah, definitely right now. Like definitely right now what people like is randomness, uniqueness, and I mean, I know you don't like it when they add the OP guns, but I mean like Fortnite does that where they'll add a shotgun where people are like, this gun is insane, or like in their case the mob gun or whatever that they called it.
Yeah, but the difference is competitive, and I think we've discussed this too. Competitive Fortnite is just Fortnite.
Yes.
With top players.
Yep.
If the public match thing was just COD, fucking like whatever, dude, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we can use whatever fucking gun we want, there's zero restrictions on anything, you would see a very Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So like that's what I mean for like the public side, and like if you want to just create content,
there
has to be like one, you have to be creative, but we all know that, so that goes without saying. But there has to be something in the game that that is more content friendly, like the BR aspect, or like big team. Hey, Infinity Ward. That ain't it, Chief. That ain't it. But like, you know, BR or like, we've seen fucking thousands of sniping videos, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool to see those clips, and yes, they're fun, and like montages are fun, but like, it's not sustainable.
Yeah. So I guess to end this, what I'm gonna say is like basically I'm gonna keep playing Apex and on the side play Witcher until one Call of Duty decides to get to 2019 and throw a BR into their game, or add some sort of new content that intrigues my interest. Right now, what they have doesn't.
I'm gonna play Call of Duty just so I can 360 off of buildings with my 13 sensitivity.
There you go.
And Apex, but
Yeah. All right. That's going to be the end of this episode, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let us know if you like the Discord version of the stream. I think it's really it's one of our only other options. Let me know if you preferred the only audio version. Let me know if you don't even watch the video version. I don't know. Give me some feedback. In the meantime, if you guys want to follow us, you can always check us out on Instagram or Twitter at Random Nades, where we post funny clips like me flubbing the English language, or Trent making fun of me for flubbing the English language. Happens all the time. So check out those channels for more content. But until then, we'll see you guys on the next episode of the Random Nades podcast. Oh, you can actually throw the nade live now.